How's it going, guys? Before I start the video, please like and subscribe. Today was actually the day I was shot, December 19th, 2019. Today I'll be talking about the struggles and things I had to overcome to accept this new life. So when I first became paralyzed, I didn't know anything about being paralyzed. I didn't think that was a thing. I thought I was going to walk once I get my back brace and stuff like that. And the nurse told me to pee in the urinal, and I noticed I couldn't. So when I was in rehab, my dad actually quit his job. He was a special ed teacher. But before that, he was in the Army for 17 years. If you support the military, please like. When I was in rehab, I was actually pretty angry and frustrated all the time, especially trying to accept this new life. I was always angry, especially at the people that did this to me and the friend that I was defending and ended up betraying me. But I cannot talk much about it because of my court. So I had problems. I tried to change the basic things. That's why I made this channel to help others like me, so it could make things easier for you. So I was in rehab for 3 months, 2 months inpatient, month outpatient. The reason why I was in for that long was because I had a UTI, so I had to stay in longer. I had to get up all the time, and it was pretty annoying, and it was frustrating for me also, especially getting blood work done all the time, especially when they're trying to find your vein and they don't know how to do it, so they're just fishing for your vein. So it was pretty painful. So in the beginning, I was actually always dizzy and my vision was bad and stuff like that. So they worked at my pace. My lumbar spine was all fractured, so going through rehab, it was very painful for my back. I was on meds all the time, and still am. And I went through a lot of depression. I still do. I'm on medications for depression, and also go through counseling every Tuesday through a Zoom meeting. So my dad was always there during rehab, and was there when I was also working out and stuff like that, and he would be recording me and seeing the progress and things like that. And when I did get angry, my dad would tell them. That's just my way of trying to learn, because I was trying to learn to go from the floor to the bed and I couldn't. It was really hard for me. Now it's pretty easy. I used to punch the ground and stuff like that. I used to get mad, yell, and I ended up trying to learn, and I ended up learning. The simplest thing was very frustrating. When I keep dropping things off my lap, it was pretty frustrating, and I'd be cussing all the time. And when we came back to California, my dad actually started working again, before he found out he had cancer. He didn't always hear me yell all the time and scream those guys' name that did this to me. When my dad was home, he would be like, what's wrong, stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, just effing James, he betrayed me. He stood there, this and that. He didn't help me, But like I said, I can't talk much about it because of my court. And with my parents, they wanted me to learn to do things on my own. Don't get me wrong, they are very supportive. They meal prep. They set up my appointments. Also, my sister does that too. They drive me around. They take me to the stores. They'll buy me stuff if I need anything. But they want me to learn on my own. My foot got caught in my wheelchair. I was calling for my dad because I almost fell. It was late at night, and I was transferring from the bed to the wheelchair, and my foot got stuck, and it got all tangled in the foot wrap on the wheelchair. And my dad just sat there and told me, do this, do that. He wanted me to learn my own. So in the beginning, at my dad's parents' house, they had a jacuzzi tub kind of thing, so it was hard for me to shower. So my dad had to help me, of course, especially in the beginning, to shower. My dad actually used to bathe me all the time. I used to wear diapers actually in the beginning, but I haven't worn them for about a year. My dad was pretty much there since the beginning, especially my mom. My mom would drive back from California to New Mexico I was shot at. I'm not from New Mexico. I was just there because of family. So yeah, I do miss my old life at times. It was crazy and was dangerous life I did live. I did learn from it. So when I do get angry now, I'll call my mom, and my mom's pretty supportive too. I'll call my mom, be like, this person's irritating me, this and that, and makes me want to go back to my old ways. And she was like, came a long way, it's always telling me don't let it bother you pretty much. So I always call my parents, so they're pretty supportive on that part. But there's times where I feel like they don't understand me really. My dad kind of does because he was in the military for 17 years. But the mental part, PTSD, my past and things I've done and stuff like that, I can't forget. So I always have dreams about certain things. Keep remembering the home invasion. I can't forget that. So, I pretty much just push people away, and I just like to be left alone. My parents always try to make me do things, go outside. I'm like, no, I always stay in my room. I actually didn't eat. I was very depressed. I lost a lot of weight. Thanks to my parents, I actually gained weight. I weighed like 125 maybe now, but back then I was actually underweight and I had to gain weight for surgery. Now I'm actually going in for surgery again in March for pressure sore, and it's just to fix the wound flap, tighten the skin. So I went through a lot. So when I go to the hospitals now, and I see like the rehab people, and when they come in to see me after surgery and they tell me how to do certain things, or they ask if I need help, I'm like, no, like it gets to me, because it's like I went through all that, and it's like, don't tell me what to do. I earned what I did and what I learned. So it's like people telling me what to do, it's just I don't like, because I struggled during rehab in the beginning. I learned. And so it's like, don't tell me what to do. Unless you're another paraplegic, I can always learn. But a lot of methods that I learn and do is actually easier than what I was taught. So today is actually like a tough time for me. I'm actually recording this couple days because I don't want to be bothered on the 19th. So just thinking about me losing my legs and stuff like that, it does get to me. Especially since like I did die. I flatlined and was flown to El Paso Hospital for surgery. I had to get cut open and stuff like that. They explored my stomach. I had fragments in my stomach. I still do, especially in my spine. My whole spine was actually severed. So here's a clip of the news report from the day that I was shot.
To other news of the day now, Las Cruces police are investigating a shooting that left a man in his 20s seriously injured this morning. According to the Las Cruces Police Department, a shots fired call came around 6 o'clock this morning when police arrived to an apartment on East Missouri and found the victim with at least one gunshot wound. Police say the victim was flown to an El Paso hospital with life-threatening injuries. Now, there's no suspect in custody at this time. However, this is an ongoing investigation. We'll keep you updated on air and online as soon as we learn more.
So certain movies, it'll trigger me, like the movie Torino or something like that, where the old man was beating up this Asian guy because he was being mean to his cousin or something like that. So he went to those guys' house and beat them up, and he held a gun to his head when he was on the ground, and that triggered me because that's what happened to me after I was shot. They held a gun to my head, so that gave me flashbacks, and just thinking like begging for my life, saying I have a daughter and stuff like that, and also not seeing my daughter no more. I didn't lose custody of her. It's just so when I got out the rehab, I was trying to see my daughter. Me and my dad was trying to see her, and my baby mom's parents pretty much was giving us a run around and wouldn't let us see her, and it was very irritating. So she's doing good. That's good. I wish the best for my baby mom. She is my baby mom, even though we do not see eye to eye. I wish the best for her because she is taking care of my daughter, of course. So I was always like very depressed. It's like, I don't have my daughter. I'm not walking no more. This and that. It's like my dad would say, what are you going to do with your life? And I'd be like crying, I don't know. I didn't ask to come back. I really didn't, honestly. I still think about that at times. It's like I was dead. I was in peace. And now they brought me back and I had to live this life. It really sucks. Because, like, I would just lay in my bed all the time. My dad would be like, you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's been, like, over a year now. And it's like, so I ended up growing out my hair actually, like, past my chin. And I was just very depressed. And, I didn't take care of my grooming as much. I actually ended up cutting my hair about a month ago or so. And then I started this YouTube channel. But I did notice I had a scar on my head when I was watching my YouTube channel, so I don't like to have my hair that short. So here's a picture of that. So my parents would just try to take me out to the stores and try to help me get out. But it's like certain people, they don't act right. So it's like makes me want to think, why should I go out if people don't act right? Like be yelling like in the back of the truck and stuff, and it like scare me, and people don't know what I'm going through. So I do talk to other paras and things like that, but not all relate to me. And I don't yell or stuff like that anymore. I usually just keep in my head, if you understand what I mean. Like I'll get angry, I'll just like be yelling in my head. Just stuff still gets to me, but I try not to show it. I still go through depression, of course. And here's actually a clip from the movie Forrest Gump, what I actually was going through and what I felt. So me not having like my feelings in my legs, I was just very depressed. I'm like, what am I going to do? I don't even know. My parents had to take care of me, this and that. What happens when they die? I don't know if my sister will take care of me. It's like stuff like that still gets to me. And it's like, I always feel like I'm just being dragged along in life, still do at times. And, it's just like I'm suffering enough, just like, just end it, pretty much. Just thinking of death again and dying again was actually very scary for me. I'll actually make a video what's it like to die from my personal experience. So stay tuned for that. I did come a long ways. Like I was very weak in the beginning, and I had like do like these breathing exercise stuff, like you gotta blow into the device as long as you can, and then the other one you inhale as long as you can. They time it. I had to do that frequently, and I was still on like oxygen because my lungs are still weak, because I was under for a couple of days actually, according to my paperwork. I was going through surgery and things like that, and I was just always dizzy and pretty weak, and I thought it was pretty cool that my sisters and my brother actually came visit me during the holidays. So that was pretty cool, especially since I didn't have holidays for at least a couple of years, because I was homeless actually for about 4 years. When I asked my sister what she thought of me dying, she said that she was having flashbacks of when I was little. She was changing my diapers, stuff like that, and it got to her because that's my oldest sister, and then when I was going through my messages on Facebook, people actually thought I was still dead. They're saying rest in peace, this and that. And one of my friends that I was having an argument with, nothing that serious, but and he would be messaging me saying, I know that you could be stubborn at times, which I am. I need you to be stubborn and wake up. I need you to wake up. And that got to me. It kind of reminded me of that one song by Eminem with Dr. Dre, called I Need a Doctor, where Eminem was telling Dre he needs to wake up, this and that, and that's the song that came to me. And also, like in the beginning with the doctors, I actually thought they were trying to kill me, honestly, and it did remind me of that song, Tupac, Only God Could Judge Me, so they'll keep putting stuff in my IV, and I thought they were trying to kill me and stuff like that, and I just woke up, so it's like I'm very paranoid, especially what I just went through. I'll be asking, what's that, and I was always in pain all the time. My back would be hurting, it just hurts just to move. My lumbar spine was all fractured. And I think it's kind of weird how the body reacts, like with PTSD, like it just happens, like I said, with certain movies, it triggers me, and it gives me flashbacks, and I'll literally just freeze up and start crying, like with that one movie I was talking about, El Torino or something like that. My mom actually told my dad to change it because I was frozen, and because we're watching movies, we're watching a movie like a movie night, and we're watching that, and I didn't know that was going to affect me that way. It's crazy, So I can only imagine what my dad's going through, especially mentally, going through the army for 17 years and going through wars and things like that, My dad does go through a group meeting actually for his counseling, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, things might have gotten easier, but the mental part is something I need to work on. I'm still waiting to get evaluated to get better medications and things like that. I try not to look at pictures of my old life because that actually kind of gets to me. Like seeing my Cadillac and things like that. It's like I don't want to see that thing because it reminds me of my old life and what I lost, honestly. Like pictures of my daughter, I try not to look at those because it gets to me too. And like the time I had with my baby mom, because I thought it was gonna work out, but it didn't, sadly. I wish it did, but it didn't. I wish the best for her though. So I hope this video can help others like me or someone going through something like this, like a new paraplegic or something like that. Hopefully you can watch my video and see that things get better. Like the mental part, it might just always just be there, something you just gotta work on. Something I'm still working on, and I do have my days where I just shut people out and just want to be left alone, especially on the 19th, because it's just a hard day for me. So if this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and also share. Bye.